Shalom, call halal Yahweh by Shem Shai, by Shem Rakak Wadash. Double honors into the apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. All right, among the heathen that look like the heathen, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is a follow-up to a TikTok video that I did responding to the brother Exodus Martinez. I believe his name is Itazawan. I don't know if he's ISUPK or if he just, watches and learns from them. But the subject matter was these people who deny the Northern Kingdom, and vice versa. Because as I said in that video, you got some Northern Kingdom only doctrines flowing around out there. You got Northern Kingdomers saying that the Judites, the so-called blacks in America, are Hamites, which is a lie. That's the same lie that the so-called white man told. The so-called blacks that came here on the slave ships and the ones that were here already, they did not come from Africa. They all came from Israel originally. But let me get a quick scripture, and I'm going to read that scripture because the Bible is the most accurate and true history book ever written. Okay, so I'm going to read 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. I'm trying to be fast because I just had some Indian chick that decided she wanted to conversate with me. Miss Arena there. I think Miss Arena was checking out the games. That's what she was on. But this is 2nd Ezra 13 and 40. All right, and it reads, "Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, who Salmanasar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them away over the waters, and so came them into another land." And when you read, when you go back into the book of Kings, that's the Northern Kingdom was they left. They were taken out of Samaria into captivity under the Assyrian Empire. All right, and then they were there. So the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom have been divided for thousands upon thousands of years. All right, and then I'm going to read, as I continue to read, is going to give you the breakdown of how they came here to the Americas. And Asareth in America was called Asareth, and Asareth was identified in Jewish encyclopedias as America. All right, and then so there were many books that were written in the 16th, 17th, 18th century about the Hebrew connection, of the natives, their original tongue being Hebrew, the Block Hebrew, which the Paleo Hebrew, which Israelis call Biblical Hebrew, found all over the Americas from Canada to Brazil, all right, and all throughout the islands. So they just found some 5,000-year-old relics in Puerto Rico that were all of the Hebrew nature. So you just can't get around this, man. And the customs that they were keeping the Passover in some cases, and some of them even created their own Ark of the Covenant. They wore fringes. They had multiple wives. Their wives didn't sleep with them in the same teepee or dwelling place as them when they were on their periods. And so it's a lot of Hebrew customs that they were keeping. And there's no scripture that says that that the Israelites heathens would be in captivity with them and then sharing in their struggles, but yet they're not the same people. And they even chanted and called upon the name of Yahweh in dance. All right. So anyway, back to 2nd Ezra 13:41. It says, "But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of heathen and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt, that they may keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed them signs for them, and they held still the flood, so they would pass over. For through the country there was a great way to go, namely 1.5 years, and the same region is called Asareth." Because and if you follow in the Bible, also in the book of Kings, you would know about Solomon's navy, which was and the Hamites, the Africans that were servants unto to Solomon. And they took that trip that took them a year and a half in each direction. They were going to America. They were going to Azareth. That's why you got them Olmecs down in South America, you know, in south of the border, in Mexico, and on the bottom side of Mexico, and different parts of South America. All right, because the Israelites knew the way over here. That's why they came here. They also came here so that they could be here to fulfill this prophecy and to fulfill latter-day prophecy. Okay, because they, you know, the biggest collection of what all Israelites are in one place is here in the Americas, especially in North America. All right. So let me read Jeremiah. I believe I read it yesterday, but I'm gonna read it again. I think I may have read it, but I'll read it again. It's Jeremiah 50 and 33. And it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all took them captives, held them fast, and they refused to let them go." I have 4 to 5 books at home that have documented records of the so-called Negro and the so-called natives of the Americas being sold and shipped into slavery together, in bondage on ships together. There are records of it. They kept records of this just because they didn't teach it in school. It's just like they didn't teach about Latimer and the light bulb. When the children learn about the light bulb, they learn about Thomas Edison, and they don't teach you about the so-called black man, you know, Latimer, who's really responsible for the light bulb and electricity. I mean for the light bulb, and how he won a court battle to prove that in the court of law, but yet they still put Edison's name in the history books for what? For white superiority reasons, and for lies, to fit their narrative, their false narrative of their social construct. Okay, now I'm gonna play a quick video of an Issacharite, a former gangbanger, speaking some pretty accurate history about the tribe of Issachar. All right, so let me find that real quick. Now this thing, come on, man. Oh, there we go. There we go.
And you mentioned the indigenous language of the Aztecs or the Mayans?
Both of them.
Both of them. You said it was connected to an old Hebrew,
Ancient Paleo-Hebrew.
ancient. So does that mean that that language that was indigenous to what Mexico and Central America is today was a Semitic language?
Yeah, so what the schools teach you is an indoctrination. You get inducted into this indoctrination of what they want to call you or what they tell you that you are. So for instance, you know, our people get called Hispanic, right? So Hispanic, not knowing what that term means, you know, we call each other Hispanics, but that was under the Spaniard captivity. When the Spaniards came in 1492 and, you know, raped, robbed, and pillaged, you know, the people of Mexico, how they knew you were under that captivity was by calling you a Hispanic, how you belonged to a family of a Spaniard that took you, you worked on their plantation, you were given their last name, like my last name, Ayala. That comes from whatever captivity my family got taken into, and maybe we have to work on fields, whether it was picking, you know, tobacco or whatever that family had us doing. That's what we did. Now Latino is different. Latino is under the Grecian captivity. That's if you were Latino, or how they differentiated the both of them is Latino actually meant that your bloodline dated back to a Grecian or a Greek. And people that are from down south, Guatemala, El Salvador, you know, just South America, they're not Latino. Their dads aren't Greek. You know, we're still of this brown race. You know, like they call, you know, black people or African Americans that are here now Africans, and they're not from Africa. They actually just got taken into captivity in Africa while fleeing Israel. Africans are Hamites. They're from the tribe of Ham. So they're just a different people, and that's why people in Africa don't accept the blacks that are here, the so-called blacks that are here in America.
He's so on point.
They say those aren't our people, you know. And you know, history, they won't teach you. You know, in my era, they taught us a little bit of Aztecs and Mayas and Incas, or just a little bit, but they never tell you how our people got here. They never tell you, you know, we came from somewhere. They'll never tell you, you know, how we read the stars. We used a thing called cenotes, which were
Sorry if
these,
it's moving.
these
I'm
ponds,
holding this
reflection
freehand.
ponds to read the stars. While Columbus was looking up at the stars, trying to read them, trying to find these holy people that had a blessed land that was promised to them, full of riches and rich soil and all this and that. He was looking up at the stars, and he didn't know how to use geometry using the reflection ponds, and that's how we got here. Our real name is not Aztec, it's Issachar. That's our real name. They gave us the name Aztec.
That's right.
It means people of time, because we kept time in numbers. And
So there it is, man. So all these social constructs that were created by Esau, Edom. So the so-called Mexicans are Issacharites, of the tribe of Issachar. All right, and that's to the prospective tribes of the rest of the Northern Kingdom. So with that, I hope this was uplifting and edifying. Call halal Yahweh by Shema Shai, by Shem Rakakwadash, Wa Ababa Bal Kwam Yasharala Shalawam.